If you're thinking about buying a house in Canada, you likely started your search by going online, typing in houses for sale near me or in my local city, and you probably came across the Realtor.ca website. So what I want to do is teach you all these tips and tricks I know as a real estate agent on how to use Realtor.ca to find that perfect house. Hey there and welcome. If you're new here, this is Bald Prairie Real Estate, where we educate you all about real estate. My name is Matthew Pfeifer. I'm a real estate agent in Regina, and that is my trusted assistant, 𝗳𝗲𝗶𝗳𝗲𝗰𝘀. Now, before we do this deep dive into Realtor.ca, how to use it to find that perfect house, we get to start, as we always do on this channel, with a terrible bad dad joke. Why do actors always say when they're auditioning for a role, break a leg? Because they all want to be cast for that role. If you have a terrible joke that I can use in a future episode, put it in the comments below. Let's get into it. Let's start off by talking about what is Realtor.ca, who runs it, and why should you use it. So Realtor.ca is a website run by the Canadian Real Estate Association, and it has every single listing that's available on MLS. It doesn't matter which company has the listing. If it's on MLS, it will be on Realtor.ca. So for you as somebody who's looking to buy a house, this is fantastic because you can find every single listing that is available right now. A lot of times people will say to me, hey Matthew, since you're a real estate agent, you know about all these listings ahead of time, you get that advance notice. We actually really don't as real estate agents. Now, yes, if we know of a new listing from an office meeting ahead of time, we will know about that. Or we know one of the agents in town has got this great listing coming up. Yes, then we will know ahead of time. But once it's put on Realtor.ca, anything that's available to us is also available to you. So this is fantastic. Somebody that is looking to buy a house, because you're going to be able to see everything that's available immediately as soon as it's available. So let's jump onto the computer and walk you through the process, through the sign up, through searches, and all the powerful tools that you can use to find that right house. So this is the webpage for Realtor.ca, and this is where you're going to start once you've set up. Now, I've already got my account set up here. You can see it. You can log in right here if you want to set up yourself a profile, which I recommend you do, because that opens up a lot of the tools and the potential that you have here. Let's start off by looking at a specific city here. We'll take Regina. That's where I work out of. Boom, right here, every single listing that is available. Now this here, it's going to show you 1,000 listings. This is every single listing that is active for sale, and it includes conditionally sold listings. So that can be a little bit deceiving. Now, of course, you're probably going to want to start off with a little bit of a search criteria. Let's talk about that, because this, I think, is where some of the most powerful tools are, but also where some of the mistakes are made. So first, we're going to start with Regina, Saskatchewan. That is what we're searching for first. And we're going to go look at residential houses here. So building type is going to be house. Now, when it comes to bedrooms and bathrooms, if you plug in 3, it's only going to give you 3-bedroom houses. If you plug in 3+, that means 3 or more. So if you want 3 or more bedrooms, put that in. Same thing here with bathrooms. 2 or more, perfect. You want to go for sale unless you're looking for something that's rent. Now, when it comes to the budget here, what you want to do is go and get pre-approved first. If you're not already, that's one of the first steps in buying a house. So go and get that. Now, the bank may give you a number that is far larger. They likely will give you a number that's far larger than what you're going to be comfortable spending, and probably what you should feel comfortable spending. So let's just say they pre-approved you for $500,000, but you do your budget and say, I really don't want to spend more than $350,000. When you plug in this search criteria here, I would plug in something close to that. Now, maybe you want to go a little bit higher, say $375,000, just in case there's that really good house at $355,000. But you also have to be aware of market conditions. If you're in a very hot market where lots of properties are selling over asking price, and you see a house that's listed at $350,000, if they get multiple offers, it's likely going to sell for more than $350,000. So if you're in that kind of market condition, then you've got to be starting to think about, okay, even though this house is listed at $350,000, it's likely to sell over. I need to be looking at houses that are, say, $325,000. So if it's really good, I can make an offer that's above asking, but still under my budget. So in this case here, I've got $300,000 minimum, and I put $375,000 as my maximum. Stories, if you want to do bungalows, that's what it would be, 2 stories, etc. I like to keep this wide open because maybe there's a perfect 2-story that I really like, even though I prefer bungalows. So again, keep this wide open. You can put in keywords here like pools, garages, etc. And if you're looking for something very particular, this is a great place to put it in. But again, let's start wide here and let's see what we get. So in this case here, boom, here is every single listing that fits that criteria right there. And if I want to save this search, this is one of the really powerful things you can do. You can save it, give it a name here, and when you want this email to come out, because they are going to email you anytime there's a new listing that comes available. And this is one of those powerful tools. When you've got that profile created, you can save these search criteria, and if a house comes up for sale or a house price drops now into that criteria, you will get an email on the schedule you've put up there. So if you put it immediately, daily, etc. If you put it immediately, as soon as that listing comes up, you're gonna get an email. Essentially at the same time I get an email that's available. As you're going through here, you can search in different neighborhoods. As you zoom in, you'll get more details. So here, for example, it shows 6 are available. As we zoom in, it shows where they are. Once you clicked on a listing, this is the website you're gonna be brought to. You're gonna have all of the photos that you can scroll through. The price point is going to be right there, address, information, MLS number, etc. You can also add notes, which is right there. That's great. Look at this. You can save any information. Hey, this house has a pool, because you're probably going to want to put any questions or information on a specific house right there. And once you've got your profile, it's going to save it all there, and you can add it to your favorites. You can always come back to it. Now this is of course my listing, so I've done a video on it. This is a hilarious video. You should absolutely check that one out. I'll put the link to that in the description below, but you can learn information about the neighborhood, the stats for the neighborhood, and then calculators. Once you're in this calculator scenario, you can actually budget in, okay, I'm gonna put 5% down, how much that down payment's gonna be. I'm gonna do a 25-year amortization. Remember, this is amortization. This is the total period that you're paying the house down over. This is not your mortgage term, which is typically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and your mortgage rate. So let's go 4.65. That's a pretty common fixed rate right now. There's what your monthly payment is going to be. Of course, this is Saskatchewan. There's no provincial municipal land transfer taxes, which is fantastic. And then you can go here. This is cash needed. This is a little bit helpful. This is going to show your down payment, PST on mortgage insurance, land transfer tax. Again, there is none in Saskatchewan or Regina. Legal fees. This one's listed at $1,000. That's just their automatic. The legal fees are not going to be $1,000 in Regina, for example. They're typically about 1% of the purchase price to 1.5% of the purchase price. So obviously that's quite a bit higher, but that's what you're going to need for your down payment essentially. And then some closing costs are put in there as well. Some other ones, your home inspection, etc. That's all going to be in addition. What if you have additional questions that aren't answered by the listing page, or you want to book a showing? Let's show you how to do that. Right off the bat, you can email right here. When you pull this up, it's going to have this form. Couple of things in here is this message box. This is one of the most important things you can do if you'd like to get more information about the property. This automatically fills that in. Delete that and put in proper information and questions that you have. Now, I get these email inquiries all the time, and they always come with that blank message of, I would like more information about this property. If you have questions about the property, put it in that box. Pretty much every single time I get a message like this, I email or text the person, whichever they preferred, and then I'll say, okay, thank you for inquiring about this property. What questions can I answer for you? And then they list off a whole bunch of questions. Just put those in the initial email. And 2 little nuggets of information, if you put these in, are going to be very helpful for you. If you are pre-approved, which you should be before you're searching for a house, put in that message box, I am pre-approved. And if you are not working with an agent, put that information in as well. It's check boxes, but put it in that email as well. Then put in there, I am pre-approved, I'm not working with a real estate agent, and I wanted to know how big the pool is or any other questions you have. Put all that information in here, and then you can go and you get a couple of check boxes you can fill in here and then send that off to the agent. You can use this same method to book a showing directly. You can put in your information again, any questions you have, you can put the time in there. Don't book the showing immediately. Like, I like to see it right now because sellers can't accommodate that. The agent may not be able to accommodate that. So try to give the agent some notice a couple of days, whether it's the next day or a few days later, and then you can punch in what time you'd like to come see that. You check all the information off and you hit send there. Now remember, when you click the book a showing button, you are booking a showing with the listing agent, the agent that has been hired by the sellers to get them the most money possible for that house. I've always recommended, and I'll continue to recommend, you should have your own buyer's agent who has your best interests in mind, and they're going to make sure that you get a good deal and that you're looked after properly. If you don't already have a great real estate agent and you want me to help get you set up with a fantastic agent in your neighborhood, I would be happy to do so. in the description of this video right below here, there's a link to my calendar. You can book me in for a buyer's consultation. I'm gonna phone you up, give you a call, ask you about what's important to you in a real estate agent, what's important to you in a house, where you're looking, etc. Answer any questions you may have, and then I'm gonna get you paired up with that perfect agent in your market. Now, you don't just have to be sitting at a computer to use the Realtor.ca website. In fact, in some ways, using it on your phone is even more beneficial. I want to jump into a little tutorial on how to use the mobile app and some of the powerful tools for it. So let's say you're driving around and you see a for sale sign and you're interested to learn more. You pull up the app on your phone. This is what it's going to look like when you start it up. And right off the bat, you're going to be brought to the home screen. You can go and you can actually click on Show Map, which is right in the middle there, and that will allow you to pull up all the listings around you and in your neighborhood. So here you can see where I was, this great location in the Greens and Gardner in Regina. And I want to know this house that I'm parked next to. I want to get all the information right there. Boom. That's the listing. Pulls it up for you. And now I can go through all the photos. It's got the price information. And if I want to get directions to the house, well, it would be right there. Obviously, I'm parked beside it, so it doesn't matter. But then you've got all of the property information, the description about the property. You've got all the bedrooms, what is included, the size, all your measurements for all the rooms, everything like that is right there. That mobile app is fantastic because if you see a new listing as you're driving around, you just pull up beside it, pull up all the information, you can save it to your favorites list, etc. And it kind of works in reverse as well. If you've looked online and you see a listing you really like, save it on your favorites list, pull the app on your phone, click the link to it, you can go through the maps there and it'll map you direct to the house so you can drive by and see if you like the location of the house. Now let's talk about some of the functionality that will be coming to Realtor.ca. Some of this has already started to come out and some of the weaknesses or information that's not going to be available. Open Offers is a platform that's being integrated into Realtor.ca that will allow people to see in real time offers on a property. So if there's 5 offers, you will actually see those 5 offers. You won't see the details, but you'll see that there are 5 offers that have been registered and submitted. And there is the option to actually display which offer has the highest price or what that highest price is. Kind of turns it into an auction, but you will at least have that information. Again, remember that real estate is regulated provincially, not nationally. So even though the Canadian Real Estate Association has started to make these changes, so these are available on Realtor.ca, unless the provincial or regional board approves that, and in most cases here, the seller actually also has to agree to provide that information to the public. Unless all of those things happen, this won't be available on Realtor.ca. The other thing that Realtor.ca doesn't provide, or at least not in its entirety, is sold price information. Now, in some real estate boards, Vancouver, for example, is one of them, when there's an active listing, you can actually look up that listing. And again, it's only for listings that are currently for sale. So you can't just go drive down the street per se, click on a house and find out when the last place or last time it's sold and how much it's sold for. This is something I'd like to see available on Realtor.ca. It's something I'm going to push as much as I possibly can through my provincial association to make this information as available as possible for people that are looking to buy a house. But right now, this information isn't available. Now, if you found this video helpful, you're definitely going to find my first time home buyer playlist right here. Very helpful. If you love this video, give this video a like, subscribe to Bald Prairie Real Estate if you love learning about real estate. Leave comments below so I can chat with you and answer your questions there. And as always, thanks very much for watching.